Hi, my name is Daneshforooz, and I'm the author of the Loving Our Religious Neighbors curriculum. I've had the privilege of working with pastors and Christian leaders around the world who are taking responsibility for enabling themselves and their people to be faithful witnesses to Jesus Christ in a multi-religious world. I want to thank and congratulate you for doing the same. In this short video, we'll cover two things. First, we'll discuss the 4 steps of laying a foundation as a pastor or a Christian leader in your community to launch a Loving Our Religious Neighbors campaign. Second, we'll discuss the 4 steps for getting your congregation involved. Let's dive into the material. First, the 4 steps for laying a foundation. Step number 1, pray. Pray. The Apostle Paul says, "When I came to you, my message was not with wise and persuasive words, but with a demonstration of the Spirit's power." Pray that God would start to build or continue to build a movement of peacemakers in your community, a movement that is a demonstration of the Spirit's power. From the very beginning, saturate your LORN campaign in the power of prayer. Step number 2, connect and partner with other pastors and Christian leaders in your area. Connect and partner with other pastors and Christian leaders in your area. There may be pastors in your community who are already doing this work. Connect with them. Or perhaps get other pastors and churches involved in what you're doing. Engaging in this work with other like-minded pastors can be a tremendous form of support and encouragement. As you know, Jesus says, "Where 2 or 3 gather in my name, there I am with them." Join others or get others involved. Step number 3, go through the LORN curriculum. Go through the LORN curriculum. Do this by yourself or with other pastors or leaders. This is a way of establishing the biblical foundation and the skills necessary for the following steps of building relationships and ultimately equipping others. Step number 4, develop a relationship with a local non-Christian religious leader. Develop a relationship with a local non-Christian religious leader. Try the community closest to you. Perhaps Google mosques or Buddhist temples or synagogues in your area. Pick up the phone and give them a call or stop by for a visit. Introduce yourself as a local pastor or leader. State your reason for calling or visiting, and ask to connect with one of the leaders in the community. Try to set up a meeting either at their location or over lunch perhaps. As you build relationships, do so with wisdom and innocence. Jesus says, "Be wise as serpents and innocent as doves." Multi-faith wisdom involves protecting our families and communities by being careful and thoughtful about the people with whom we choose to partner. Make sure they share your values of mutual learning and respect for differences. I've met with religious leaders who don't share my values, and as a result, I decided not to partner. I encourage you to do the same. Multi-faith innocence involves never expressing violent attitudes out of hate, prejudice, or discrimination. For in the kingdom of God, hate is the same thing as murder. Once you've laid the foundation of praying, partnering with other Christian leaders, and building a relationship with a local non-Christian religious leader, then you can implement the 4 steps to get your congregation involved. The 4 steps to get your congregation involved are as follows. Step number 1, establish a LORN team. Establish a LORN team. One of the best ways to enable your people to take ownership of this multi-faith initiative is to establish and train a leadership team by taking them through the LORN study first. Step number 2, speak about it from the pulpit. Speak about it from the pulpit. Use the biblical principles and language in this curriculum to speak about why and how we should build relationships with people from different faiths in our neighborhoods. More specifically, talk about how our world is interconnected like never before, and use the framework of the fruit of the Spirit as the lens through which we love our neighbors. Step number 3, organize a pilot program. Organize a pilot program. After you take your team through a LORN campaign, enable them to take other small groups through a LORN campaign. You might do this at first with a few small groups, and eventually try to do it as a church-wide campaign where all small groups go through the curriculum and learn to love people who are different through the fruit of the Spirit. Step number 4, make it a sustainable pathway. Make it a sustainable pathway. After you have a committed team at your church and have established a relationship with a local non-Christian religious community, make this program a regular pathway for your members multiple times each year. As a review, we talked about the 4 steps of laying the foundation by praying, partnering with other Christian leaders, going through LORN, and building a relationship with a local non-Christian religious leader. And we talked about the 4 steps to get your congregation involved by establishing a LORN team, speaking about it from the pulpit, organizing a pilot program, and making it a sustainable pathway in your community. Thanks again for the important role you're playing in equipping the saints to be effective witnesses in the 21st century. Feel free to reach out to me with any questions or thoughts at josh@lornneighbors.com. That's josh@lornneighbors.com.